Well, good afternoon, Huskies. Welcome to another great episode of Career Tuesdays. I'm happy to let you know we do have Chelsea Groton Bank in the house today, and they're here to give you all the great insights and information about career opportunities, learn about more company culture, and maybe that question that you might be pondering about, what gives to find the right talent and placement into a career opportunity like working with Chelsea Groton Bank. Um, so I definitely want to thank you, Renee, for joining me today on this virtual session to learn more about your organization and some key pertinent questions that a lot of our students are always intrigued and learning about in regards to the employers that we do work with. So my first question for you today, Renee, is could you tell us a little bit more about your organization and who is Chelsea Groton Bank?
Yes, absolutely. But before I get started, I want to say thank you very much for having Chelsea Groton Bank here. We're very excited to be here to be able to talk about the different career pathways available when it comes to the financial industry, because I'm sure a lot of students are like, what's all involved with that? What does it entail? So I'm very excited to be able to answer any questions that those students may have when it comes to those career pathway and opportunities in the financial industry. But to go ahead and share a little bit about Chelsea Groton Bank, I'm going to give you a little history. Chelsea Groton Bank was founded in 1854 and is proudly committed to serving our region with their banking needs, as well as providing financial wellness programming, grant donations, sponsorships, volunteerism, and more to help support the local communities. At Chelsea Groton, we take pride on ourselves in combining the best people with the best technology to be able to provide a level of service that's unparalleled in our region. And the bank's mission is to help our customers and our communities achieve their specific goals by taking them on as if they were our own. So we're looking for future team members who are willing to help us carry that mission forward.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. It's great to know that you're giving back to the community and really trying to establish further your roots within the surrounding area of the Groton area and strengthening those relationships with your greatest investors, which is obviously also your customers and the people that come into that bank, which is truly wonderful. When it comes to seeking out talent and finding that right talent, especially an early talent, what does that ideal candidate look like at the table?
Oh, that's a very common question I get asked a lot. At Chelsea Groton Bank, I will let you know we're an innovative financial service company that inspires its employees, customers, and communities to achieve their full potential. So when it comes to our individuals, we're seeking individuals that will support our mission of helping our customers in big ways and small to achieve their goals. So the ideal candidate would need to be innovative, so willing and able to look for creative and resourceful solutions to meet our customer needs and work diligently to ensure we operate efficiently. Also ready to go above and beyond to add value to all relationships. We also need that candidate to be collaborative, open to work with colleagues and or customers to help find solutions and lend support. They need to be trustworthy. We're dealing with customer finances, so they need to be honest, responsible, and can be trusted to always do the right thing. We need them to be professional, so ready to conduct business in a confidential, ethical, and respectful manner with commitment to accuracy. We would need them to be knowledgeable, armed with transferable skills from education or positions to help prepare and dedicate the time to learning a new position and technology, with a commitment of continuous learning and personal growth, because the banking industry is a highly regulated industry. We will need the we will need the individual to be versatile, so flexible and adaptable when interacting with our customers and our teammates, and able to embrace changes with a positive attitude, as the economy is always changing, so banking is always changing. We would need them to be positive, having an enthusiastic approach in the workplace towards our customers and our teammates. We would need them to also be inclusive without regard to physical, mental, lifestyle, personal, or cultural characteristics. We want to make sure everyone seeks to actively include and learn from each other.
That's wonderful, Renee, and it's great to know that the organization truly does believe in inclusivity and allowing all folks to have that opportunity to bank with Chelsea Groton Bank. As
Awesome.
far as those opportunities specifically, are what types of job opportunities, as far as internships or full-time jobs, does Chelsea Groton Bank actually actively right now is recruiting for, or has open, or maybe in the near future also students should be anticipating as far as opportunities available for them?
Wow, that is a great question, and I have a loaded answer for that one. We offer a variety of full-time and part-time positions, and that being permanent, along with paid internships for school breaks, including all summer long. So Chelsea Grant offers career pathways, including and not limited to marketing, there's IT, wealth management, accounting, human resources, retail and commercial lending, deposit operations, customer care, and our retail banking team who staff our branch teams. So these positions
Wow.
are always evolving and always becoming available. So you can always visit our career page on our website by visiting chelseagroton.com. Oops, sorry, my lights just
No,
went off.
that's fine.
chelseagroton.com/careers, and that way you can always view the current available positions that we have. And if any or all are of interest to any of the candidates, we encourage them to apply online. And then that way, interested candidates will be able to get their applications and resumes directly to that hiring manager for further review. And it would be up to the hiring manager to reach out to the candidate for further conversation or interested in scheduling an interview. But
That's excellent.
I would like to take it one step further though, Mick, because
Sure.
I've been on the other end. So if there are any
Yes.
interested applicants, they can reach out to me directly, as I would be more than happy to have an exploratory conversation about the different career opportunities that we have available at Chelsea Groton and how those transferable skill sets will align with the opportunities that we have now or in the future.
Absolutely, Renee. And what is the best method of getting in contact with you? Is it LinkedIn? Is it by email? What should candidates do to sort of have a follow-up following today's event?
It could be all of the above. It's honestly whatever is
Perfect.
convenient for the applicant, as all channels I am out and available on, and I'm sure to make sure I follow up on.
That's excellent. Well, thank you very much for offering that. And definitely for students that are watching this, I highly encourage you to take that offer on and reach out to Renee to learn more about the wonderful positions that Chelsea Groton Bank has to offer. And speaking about, before we get to the offering of potential roles, there's obviously that interview process as well. And what does that actually look like with Chelsea Groton Bank? What should candidates expect when they go through the interview process with your firm?
Well, that's a great question. So it depends too on the position, but I will talk about like a standard position, if it be internship or that permanent placement. It would be where they would need to go out and apply online, and that way they're able to review the job description and position in greater detail. And then before they apply, again, feel free to give me a call. I'm more than happy to explain any lingo that's out there or terminology, just so that way they fully understand what they're about to sign up for. But then once they apply online, that will get their application and resume directly to that hiring manager. That hiring manager will be the one to further review it to make sure that the knowledge, skills, and abilities are there based on the skill set. And then if they have any further questions or interested in scheduling interview, they will be the ones to reach out to the candidate to coordinate that at a convenient time that works for both of them. And then if
That's
they should get past that first round of
Yeah.
interviews with the hiring manager, they will then be invited in for a second round of interviews in which they'll meet with myself or another team member on the HR team. And that's where, after meeting with the HR team, they will then have a further conversation and review with the hiring managers. And if there's any pre-employment exercises, those will need to be completed as well. And then that's where the hiring manager will then make a decision from there, depending on what applicant they would like to move forward with.
Wow, that's excellent. So it's a very thorough process, it sounds like, and there is a multi-step portion to the interview, which is excellent. And it sounds like you're able to really gauge and understand those potential candidates and their fit for the organization. Um, as far as skill sets, though, Renee, and I'm sure you have looked at many resumes, for potential candidates that are considering roles with your organization, what would be some of those skills that truly make a candidate stand out to make them career ready, job ready for a position with Chelsea Groton Bank, especially for students that are coming out of college or, again, trying to develop that internship experience? What do you look for skill sets from those types of candidates?
Oh, that's a great question. And honestly, it really depends on the position that they're expressing their interest in, because each position has different skill sets that may be needed to perform the job. But I can go around a standard skill set, I think, that is transferable across any organization, and that's
Sure.
customer service. Customer service, I think, goes above and beyond in no matter what capacity that you're serving, if it be external customers or if it be internal customers such as employees. I think customer service always needs to be on par. Depending too on the role, cash handling might be needed, just because we are in a financial industry and we are handling cash. We would look for some cash handling, but I will share with you that's not an end-all be-all, because we feel that that could be a skill set that we could teach somebody if they should not have it. I would then also say if it be cash handling, customer service, and I would say the knowledge and willingness to want to lean in and come curious and willing to learn and grow. So I would say, what would that be? An ongoing life learner skill set?
Absolutely.
Because as I
Critical.
mentioned to you, well, I think that's a life skill anybody should have, huh?
Absolutely. You're not kidding.
But with the financial industry, we are a highly regulated industry in which policies and procedures and regulations are always changing because of the economy changing or technology changing or customer needs are changing all the
Absolutely.
time. So we just really want to make sure that you could be adaptable, willingness to want to change and adapt with those changes, and also be willing to provide those services to our customers with a positive manner.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm hearing some great key words and buzzwords to remember for our students and listeners here. Definitely to be pliable, amendable, willing to adapt and change. Having that flexibility sounds like it's very key, but at the same time, providing the utmost best customer service and meeting, the regulatory needs of the organization and working with federal agencies, I'm sure as well. And
Mhm.
then being able to meet your customers' needs and what they're looking for out of the bank is so crucial. So it's wonderful just to hear the insights, Renee, that you're providing for students and the skill sets that they need to be successful to transition. And it's great to know that they have also the support systems from your firm along the way and getting that training. And speaking of that training, what does that actually look like in a day in the life of an intern or a full-time hire? And if maybe we could break out one or two positions here, how would that actually look like someone going through an internship experience or a full-time job opportunity with the organization?
That's a great question. And I'll start out by kind of keeping it simple with our entry-level positions, as
Sure.
I think that that kind of does transfer over to internship, along with those entry-level permanent positions. So our typical training environment, I will share, we're very robust with our training, and it's not something that we expect you to learn from day one and then throw you to the wolves and say good luck. No, that is not at all who we are about. Our training, we really want to make sure our employees are set up for success, and the training is really crucial for their first 90 days. So where we're set up in a training environment, it's simulated to where they get hands-on, they get to learn and navigate the systems that will be applicable to their job role, and they get to do that for a couple days in that training environment. And then they will then go pair out with what we call a buddy, and that's where that buddy or mentor will work with them on everything that they learned in that training environment, in that live setting with the customer there standing in front of them, to where they'll be able to apply everything that they learned in that live setting with that support. And then the buddy and the employee will work through a checklist that they will both make sure that they're comfortable in checking off before they're moving on to the next topic. And then that's where, once they've mastered that skill set, they'll go back into training to learn the next skill set, as we have what we call milestones that are in place. And it's something that we are looking for the employee to not achieve from day one, but to be able to achieve and complete within the first year of employment. And as long as they're satisfactory hitting those milestones by the end of the year or even sooner, depending on the individual, they should be a fully functioning, if it be a customer solutions representative or whatever it is that their role is that they applied for it within that year, they should feel very confident within their role.
That's fantastic. It's wonderful
Mhm.
to know that there really is that multi-step process of getting the simulation aspect of the learning, and all the programming that goes behind with Chelsea Groton Bank, but then also having a buddy system and a mentor. Uh, how rich and valuable that is, especially when you're growing and developing your skill sets, and putting those into practice. And then kind of going through that
Absolutely.
working test period as well, making sure that all the kinks, if you will, are worked out, and completing that phase out of year one to make sure you really are comfortable in that job setting and delivering those best quality customer service skills that Chelsea Groton Bank is looking for. Um,
Absolutely. And now, Mick, I do want to
Please,
share with you, that's just the entry level position. So now,
absolutely,
I mentioned that there were so many other avenues that you can explore when
yes,
it comes to the banking industry. So I want to let you know it goes beyond that. Chelsea Grun offers what we call career development pathways. So if there's where a day, oops, my lights turned off again, not breathing. Okay. But what you could do is as you get into those entry level positions, that's where you're going to start getting the foundation of banking, really exploring the different avenues depending on what position you're in. But I think that that's when an employee will really start to find their niche. If banking is of
yes,
a career that they want to grow with. And when they find their niche, that's where you're really going to want to open those lines of communication with your hiring manager. Because with that career development pathway program, we have what we call a walk in the shoes. To where if you're like, what is it like in the day of the life of this role and that position? You get to
wow,
go shadow and observe what it's like in the day of the life of that role. And that way you can see, oh, yes, I really do want to lean in. I want to learn more. I want to develop a career here. How can I go about doing that? And what training tools, resources do I need to get me to achieve that opportunity? Or for all you know, you could be like, oh no, I do not like that side of things. I like my side of the lens a lot better. What are other opportunities that I can explore, and then go from there? So I just want to share with you that that's just getting your foot in the door, but there's so many other ways that you can still explore the different avenues that the banking world does have to offer through the Walk in the Shoes program, and then putting you on that career development pathway program. And it that
wow.
way, if futuristic opportunities should ever become available that you've always dreamed of, we can't guarantee you the role, but what we can do is guarantee you an opportunity to sit down and explain why your knowledge, skills, and abilities would be the best fit for that role, because there could be other employees who are on that same career pathway as you.
That's fantastic, and it's a great way to know that, hey, there are additional opportunities beyond just the scope of this entry level career that you're creating thus far, and you really have an opportunity to grow and advance with Chelsea Groton Bank if you so choose to, and know about the potential paths and avenues out there to get working towards that direction. Well, that's just wonderful. That really is fantastic. Um, and speaking of those opportunities, and that definitely ties into your organization's culture, how would you, Renee, define working within Chelsea Groton Bank and the culture within your organization?
That's a great question. So when it comes to the Chelsea Groton culture, we're very team oriented. We're very adaptable. We're very innovative because we, as I mentioned to you, we are always trying to stay up to date when it comes to our technology, along with providing our financial services to meet our community needs. So
Absolutely.
we're always looking for those individuals to think outside of the box. What can we do to be different? What can we do to help streamline this process to make it run more smoothly and efficiently, not only for our customers, but even maybe for the end user as well. So we're always looking to spark new ideas. What are different ways that we can go about meeting the needs in our community? Because those needs are always changing as well. My needs could be totally different than your needs. So it's just making sure we're having those conversations. We're seeing what we could do to provide those resources to help maybe close the gap in any needs in the local communities that we serve.
That's wonderful. It really is, just fantastic to be able to tie that together. And again, just important to know that you're really there to service the community, and provide better customer service, quality of care when it comes to banking needs of your customers and clients, but also inspiring and building that type of culture within the organization itself and giving them those resources and tools to potentially grow as well within the company, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Um, when it comes to for our students too, they're always pondering and wondering, how can I really stand amongst the crowd? Like, what would differentiate them potentially when it comes to applying for jobs with Chelsea Groton Bank or any, really company in an industry? What would you say, Renee, really allows candidates differentiate themselves and make them really stand out amongst the crowd in a group, when it comes to networking or even events like maybe a career fair that you've attended? What makes that lasting impression?
That's a great question. Where do I start with that one? I think to really stand out, I think the applicant should do their research. When they do their research about an employer, I think it's great for them to have that information, not only for them to have a conversation with the employer or the hiring manager about the opportunity, but I think it's
Yes.
also an opportunity for them to research, does that organization align with what their personal values, their personal mission statement, does that match? Because I think that right there is a huge piece of a puzzle that I don't think a lot of people take the time to spend and invest in. Because then once you find that those two really do align, I think that the rest kind of skyrockets from there. Because
Wow.
I think as an individual too, you want to understand what type of person and work environment you want to be in. Do you want to be behind the scenes where you're assisting customers in that virtual manner, or do you want to be face to face? And where you're assisting them and the first one that they see. Do you want to be hands-on cash handling, or do you prefer to assist in a technology virtual manner? So that's the opportunity where you, when you're doing your research about that organization, you'll get a feel of what that work environment is going to be, what the culture is going to be like, and if that aligns with your skill set and your mission and personal values as well. But then to take it a little bit further, when you're doing your
Mhm.
research, it will show that you really took the time to invest and do your research about the organization, that you actually care about them. And it's great conversation points when I'm conducting an interview, that when I'm asking them, how do you feel your skill set can add to our mission statement? They look at me and they're like, well, what is your mission statement? So it just shows a different commitment. I think when you do your research to where you have talking points, to where it shows that you did look in to find out more about it, because it shows your commitment. It shows you also went above and beyond. So that's also just showing additional traits, that your eagerness, your willingness to want to learn. Because as I keep
Absolutely.
mentioning it, here we are seeking individuals that want to be lifelong learners. So when I see somebody who's
Yes.
taking time and that initiative, it shows that they are taking it seriously as well.
That's
So
wonderful. I hope the students are listening. I mean, these are some great messages here that are being shed, and as far as how to really stand amongst the crowd, and it definitely that message of do your homework, conduct the research, learn about the organizations, don't go in cold. I think that even transpires to the job interview. Don't go in cold to the interview, because it's
mhm,
going to resonate and it's going to also impact your success. And if you really are passionate and interested in the organization, you're going to stand amongst the crowd because you're gonna show that interest, you're gonna show that passion, you're gonna conduct that necessary research to be successful. Just truly,
mhm.
truly a powerful message, Renee. Um, I definitely want to take the moment to allow the floor as far as any students or any questions you might have in regards to opportunities with Chelsea Groton Bank. I'm not sure, Kristen, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Renee today.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. Nice to meet you. I just kind of wanted to ask, I know these days a lot of companies are like hybrid or remote, and like flexibility in a company is really important. I don't know if you could tell me a bit about that and like Chelsea Groton, like how they do it.
Absolutely. So it would depend on the position that you're expressing interest in, but I will share with you a lot of our positions, because we are customer facing, do require in-person reporting. And depending on the location would depend on what position you apply for that you would be reporting to. but we are spread out all throughout southeastern Connecticut. And I would say from our Groton headquarters, we're no more than a half hour out.
Is your headquarters, sorry, a follow-up question, is your headquarters located in Connecticut?
Groton, Connecticut.
Groton's a beautiful, beautiful, serene town, right on the water. Some great staples in Groton and other organizations too, I might add. But location-wise, you guys are really a great spot between Rhode Island and I-95, which obviously leads us in any direction towards the city in Boston or towards New York and Providence. And Groton is definitely key central to Connecticut's environment and community that we have here. And Chelsea Groton, as well, your organization, Renee, has really just given me more insight about the value that you provide to the communities in the area and truly make an impact, whether it's through volunteering opportunities, whether it's trying to improve customer service and engagement in banking experiences for the local population in the towns that you service, and making sure that you guys are up to par when it comes to the technology, to the comes to the way you engage and service your customers and providing the utmost quality. And to know that your company has been in existence for the duration period of time, it really is a testament to the brand, the quality of the organization, which is fantastic. And I always say I love my local banks. I have to say that definitely it's great to have that quality of service where the people know you, that you're not necessarily just a huge conglomerate, but the organization actually does care and knows their community well, which is fantastic, which is really great to learn all this great information from you today, Renee, and all the wonderful insights that you provided about what makes candidates stand out to the types of opportunities. It really is a plethora of potential with Chelsea Groton Bank and the roles. Now, as far as active roles, the best way to go about to apply, would it be directly on the company website or using Handshake or any other resource? What would you say would be the best method to apply to those roles again?
Excellent question. I would recommend just going directly to our website by visiting, again, chelseagroton.com/careers. And then that way it will bring you right to our job board, in which you're always able to see what our current available opportunities are. And that way you'll be able to view the job description in further detail. You'll be able to start that application directly with us. And I will share with you that if you apply for multiple positions, you're not having to key in all the information every single time. You'll be able to create it. Save a step. We all need to save a step. That's right. To where you will be able to create an account and it will store all of your information. So just making sure you're keeping that information always up to date. And then you'll be able to just do a couple clicks of a button to apply and go ahead and express your interest in any or all of the career opportunities that we have available that you feel that your skill set will transfer over to, that you think would be a great addition to the Chelsea team. And I will share with you as part of the application process, and I missed this in the last step, that after all interviews are conducted, that please note offer of employment will be contingent on a full successful completion of a background and credit check. So I just wanted to throw that piece in there. We're not looking at your credit score per se. We're just looking at your credit history, your accounts, as we are a financial industry and we're providing financial advice and recommendations. So we really want to make sure our employees are mirroring that type of behavior as well.
Makes sense. Absolutely, Renee. I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you to Chelsea Groton Bank. Thank you to you as well, part of the organization, for coming in today virtually, remotely, to connect with students, to give us great insight about your organization, the opportunities, internships, full-time positions, the company culture, and what it really takes to break into potentially this industry, as well as working for Chelsea Groton Bank. Really been helpful and insightful. I just want to also give a reminder to our students. Feel free to reach out to Renee as well. Renee, and I please apologize for your last name. Is it Simoa? I probably butchered that.
No, it's okay. You are not alone.
Absolutely. Please reach out to Renee via LinkedIn. If you have questions, she's one click away and happy to give you insight a little bit more about the organization, or you have any questions about the application process. She is there for you to give you, again, more assistance and guidance in that area. And on behalf of the University of Connecticut, the School of Business, Renee, thank you for coming in today to shed light and give us great insight again on your organization. And we look forward to having you on campus with us soon. Thank you again for coming in.
Yes. Thank you for having us, and I wish everybody nothing but the best, and I hope to open the lines of communication.
Thank you. Absolutely.